Alright, welcome back to Princess Connect Redive Anime Review episode number 2. We discuss episodes 2 through 7 of the series. Yes, 2 through 7. Pretty much basically, here is kind of what happens over the course of these 6 episodes. Yuki, of course, still gets eaten by a couple of monsters. One who had to be a freaking dragon, the other is a different monster. And we get slowly gathering up basically the girls. Well, basically there was a cat girl who showed up in episode 2. Let's see. Let me look at something here. I think I did do one yesterday. No, I just did the first episode. So, yeah. Yeah, basically the name of these episodes are Melody, Cat's Mission, Warm, Rice Balls. Let's see. 2, yeah, basically, the cat girl. I think that's what I'm doing here. Hang on. Yeah, pretty much basically. Yeah. Yeah. So, where's my picture here? There we go. So, pretty much in these episodes, there's this cat girl named Karen who basically is after the strong girl, Pucha, for reasons. So, he chases the restaurant. Of course, they run into each other. This restaurant basically is only here for like a couple episodes, and their secret menu is they serve bugs. Yes, seriously, bugs. And they kind of like them, but they eat some parrot. And of course, then we have a guy comes in who is a food critic, and I see him like, that's Abdul the Butcher. He looks almost exactly like him. He with a famous scar on his face, a little more exaggerated. Yeah, I wonder if this character is based upon Abdul the Butcher. I have no idea. For those of you curious, who the heck is Abdul the Butcher? He is, well, he is a former wrestler. I don't think he wrestles anymore. And he looks like this. Black guy, looks like he's overweight, wears red pants, and has a nickname of Madman from Sudan, despite the fact he has never been there. And the fact the man is Canadian, he also owns several restaurants, and the fact the man is notorious for having hepatitis C. Yep, hepatitis C. Yeah, so he eats all this food, thing is disgusting, but then of course he's thrown out. He's a big, huge guy. They see him later on when, of course, Yuki gets sick. Well, but by the way, Karagura basically gets application to start a guild. She was suggested to start a guild because why not? It's a guild that works with another guild. And it's basically kind of like a special party. For some reason called guilds here. Not really sure why. But that's basically how it is. So, pretty much basically has, of course, Yuki obviously join. Pocho joins no problem. Kara does join at first, then she joins after the whole thing with the food critic, who is paid off by a rival, and they become the Gourmet Guild. And they get themselves a house, which they have to clean up. And Pucha, we take all this furniture, like, wait, we're missing something. A table. How about a freaking bed? Because there's nobody seen with a bed in this house. Like, I think like Yuki sleep on a couch. So they clean this place up. Kuru goes to town, runs into a ram girl on the way back after basic stop bouquet, which is run by a former knight who was a noble lineage who gave it up just to basically work for a orphanage. How nice of her to do. Yes. So, I mean, yeah, it gives it up, of course, but then they get some special items, and then there's a ram girl, which they think it's a donkey, but no, it's a ram. She basically also has this apple can transform into a human girl, well, a beast woman, and apparently the head that you see her, if you see his character, it's a mask. Yeah, it takes off like it's part of a costume, and of course, they get back to the problem that they're dealing with some shadows. Yeah, they deal with shadows, which basically they built this up over the course of the next few episodes. Yuki's knocked unconscious a few times. Yuki, of course, is still an idiot, has no idea what the heck is going on. He's like, just doesn't talk very much. He doesn't talk at all until like episode 7, when he has like a conversation with the girls. So then, of course, basically after Bucha makes the table, they can't get in the house because it's too big. So what they do is they break the top part of the table in half. They cut it in half, just like squeezing the house. And of course, they hold it together. Nothing unusual. Tables will do this all the time, of course. Oh, by the way, the chairs are logs. Yep, logs that were smoothed out. Imagine eating at a dinner table where you're sitting on basically top of logs, or logs that sit and stand up. I would feel very uncomfortable with that. I would basically rather sit in a chair than I would sit on a log. If a log is like lying down, fine. But since it's smooth top, fine, whatever. And they, of course, have their meals together. And at one point, Yuki gets sick, so they take him to a clinic. Yes, a clinic that is very eccentric. And it's like, oh, it's a hospital. It's like, yeah, and of course, he goes to prison. They runs to Food Critic, who apparently has lost like a ton of weight. He is much more slimmer now. Also, his pants are now shorts. I have no idea why. That's how he is here. And everyone's like so eccentric. And everyone goes about Ghost. And then, of course, they get out of there. And, of course, Yuki, apparently it's like just like, oh, need surgery? No, just a rash. He apparently had a cold, but he got over no problem. Then eventually get the first guild assignment. Go gather spices for this village for upcoming Harvest Festival. Which, of course, well, pretty much never get the problem. There's this other group called Elizabeth Park. That's where the llama girl comes from. Who, because she's a llama, gotta spit. Because llamas love spitting. And it's quite gross. Not the first time I've seen someone with this llama type head in the anime. Yes, they also had one in One Piece, and he was absolutely disgusting. And Luffy, of course, punched him because he's gross. So, pretty much basically with that, so then Yuki's not in the conscious again. Well, first, the dragon, I think it was episode 2. And this one basically got unconscious because his woman named Christine, who's also a niche as well. And Yuki kind of gets back basically the way he should be, where he's having conversation. He's just not exactly, he's just not oblivious to stuff. He basically is able to have a conversation. It's not like his memory is fully back per se, but it's like his knowledge was restored. So they call him basic Christine, and Christine proceeds to get away. And that's kind of what happens over the course of 6 episodes. That's just abbreviating basically what I can remember basically what happened to this. So, not much to say about this. Okay? So yeah, that's pretty much the particular video. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe to notifications. Next up, I'm going to do one more video tonight. I don't have time to do more videos tonight, so I'm going to do next. I do have a couple comic corners I want to do. I'm going to save it for tomorrow. So, next set of the current time, okay?